Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm set up here outside in the patio. I am wetting my paper down. And the water here is a little dirty because I've been painting all day, but that's okay. We're not going to worry about that too much. I'm going to give it a little spray just to kind of clean that up a little bit. And that is a spray bottle you can order online. It's a fine mist for water. It works really great. And so we're just wetting the paper down, let that sit for a few seconds. The hake brush, as you know, holds a lot of water. And it's made of goat hair, if you've never heard of the hake brush. Pioneered by Ron Ranson, and we're going to try to stick to a palette that Ron Ranson did use. This is raw sienna that I'm adding to the background. This creates sort of a background color, gives it a little bit of a glow, and just a very light color of that. Now, I'm going to hit it here with, I'm just going to use some different colors. Just take the hake brush and just hit it with a little bit of purple. Things you find in the sky, it's up to you. If you like a blue sky, if you like a little bit of purple, a little bit of pink, go for it. Those are any of the colors that you see in the sky that you want to do. Now, we're not using any drawings here. This is just all from imagination. Now, here's a little bit of a mauve type color, a little bit of a purple type color. Just putting that in there just to create some shapes we might see in the sky. And then coming back ultramarine blue on the brush. Haven't washed the brush out, and so it still has a little bit of that purple in there. We're going ahead and just kind of dabbing that in there. We're not painting with any real deliberance. We're not painting, tediously. We're letting the brush and the watercolor do the work. And I'm just going to give that a little spray with the spray bottle. Now, you want to make some clouds? This is the easiest way I've found. You just take a tissue and you can blot out and lift some of the paint in there. Now, you can do this with a solid color sky. Works really good, if you see in some of my other videos. And you can lift some clouds out here and create any sort of interest that you like. Now, you don't want to lift it all out because then you won't have anything left. So you have to kind of go around and come up with a pattern, or you don't have to do it at all. Some people don't like the tissue lifting, and that's fine. Now I'm taking the brush and I'm just adding some foreground color. This is just a little bit of yellow, maybe a little bit of green, and a little bit of yellow ochre in here. Just coming across, creating a horizon, staying low, keeping the sky as one of the stars of the show. So now I'm going to make up a little bit of green color. In future videos, I'll try to show the palette. This is kind of the first one. But I've just added some green mixed with a little bit of yellow, a little bit of Payne's gray. And just creating some shapes along that horizon line, just to create like an opening in the foreground. Leave that yellow opening in the foreground there as an area of interest. And just kind of move that brush around, creating shapes and making it look like foliage. Just dabbing that in there, dabbing it across. And then lightening that up a little bit. And we save the darks mostly for the end. We can dip that in a little bit more Payne's gray, as I've done here. Leaving little areas of interest again. Okay, I'm going to go to the fan brush now. This is as detailed as we get. And I've dipped that in some yellow, little yellow, lemon yellow, little cad yellow hue. These are hues. These are not the dangerous cad. Don't use any of that here. And we just kind of blend that in a little bit lighter as I go off into the distance. A little bit using that light paint to create a top area. That'll be a sort of a background. Now jumping into some more Payne's gray. And now we're going into the darks. And immediately it enhances all of the lighter colors now pop. Again, into the darks, and now into a little bit of yellow ochre, little raw sienna. Kind of blend that out with my finger. Always a good idea to stand back and look at your painting. Now I've gone into a little bit of burnt umber and Payne's gray, creating some brown, a little bit of land area, and then the plastic card for scraping the rocks while it's wet. And then always anchor those stones into the ground with some darker color. Back to the fan brush again. And then some highlights with yellow. You can do that with yellow, lemon yellow, and cad yellow hue. And again, just continuing out with the fan brush, hitting with some darks in there. Just creating that nice foliage. Dabbing out a little bit. If you put too much in there, you can dab a little bit out with the paper towel. Again, back to the fan brush again. Going in and getting some little highlight colors like the yellows. Those will melt in there when you do it this wet and wet technique, and you put that in there, it'll blend in. Now I'm just taking the fan brush and just creating some little things that'll sell the detail, which is little like things sticking up, little wisps. And give that a little bit of a spray. Keep that spray bottle handy and you give it a little mist. It'll just kind of dissolve things a little bit. And the more you spray, the more it'll run. If you like the look of the running paint, then that will definitely have a look that you'll like. So here is my mat. I'm going to set this up on here. And there is the finished product. Zoom back out for you. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm taking a little Micron 0.05 pen and just popping a couple little birds up in there. And once it dries, I'll sign it somewhere on the paper. And we'll just kind of zoom in. You can kind of see some little details there. Well, I certainly hope you enjoyed this painting, and best of luck in your paintings, and I will see you next time.